Welcome to the Godel Pod. My name's Jade Evans. I am Head of Advisory Pre-Sales at Godel Technologies, and I'm very excited today to be joined by Jamie Shedley, Chief Technology and Security Officer from Oil Brokerage and OBX Live. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you very much for having me.
Cool. So we're going to be diving into AI, everybody's favourite topic. But before we do that, would you mind just giving us a bit of an introduction, bit of a brief history to your career?
Yeah, so my name's Jamie. I work at Oil Brokerage. They are the largest oil commodity brokerage in the world. We've got offices in London through to Dubai, Singapore, all the way around to the US. We operate a very large portion of oil that's brokered around the world, and we have a very large shipbroking desk that run off it, broking tankers. So big things that fly around the world or float around the world carrying oil. And we have a data business that runs off the back of that. And we have an OBX platform we call OBX Live that sits in the middle that helps with connecting all the desks together, all the compliance needs. It's fundamentally the company. Before here, I worked for a company called Clarkson's PLC. They're one of the largest shipbrokers in the world, FTSE 250 company. And again, large drive into technology and kind of changing the way the world works, which has been carried over very well into my life at OB.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. We've worked with you a couple of times now at different businesses. So we've known each other for a good number of years. Would you mind sharing a little bit about your experience working with Godel and us being your partner?
Yeah. Really good lunches. And I think that, when we started working with Godel, it was my first place working with you guys. It was kind of the pre-months leading into COVID. Mm-hmm. So you then saw a natural shift of where people sit. And I'm not saying this shouldn't be interpreted as you get rid of all your onshore staff and go offshore, because that's not what even today we have. But what we did find is that companies were going the offshore route because they thought, it's going to save us money. Well, actually, it doesn't save you money. You look at your balance sheet, it saves you money, but actually you are worse off by going 100% offshore. But what we found with Godel is that the hybrid model really works. We're an augmentation team. My last place and here at OB, we're an augmentation team. We have people in London, and we have a team of 14, 16 now with Godel specifically. And it works really well. You've got lots of people from different walks of life who bring different levels of experience. We have great support from kind of you guys on the sales side. And if we need to build people quickly, we need to get people in. You guys are usually very quick to do that, and depending on what you've got going on in your pipelines and other people you have. But there's a reason I went back to Godel again. There's a reason that whenever we look at adding someone, we go through Godel rather than getting someone to sit next to me in the office, sit 2 desks down from in the office. It's a structure that works. The support functions around, we have an agile delivery manager. He's really on it. He's really good. He helps ensure that the team, no matter where they sit, we've got one in Dubai. I think we've got one about to start in Lithuania. Yeah, I'm just looking over that. And then the rest of the team are across 2 locations in Poland. So we're offshore, but we're across multiple places. But that's no different to our business anyway. We're in Singapore, we're in London, we're in Geneva, we're in Dubai, we're in Houston and New York. And it's one of those things where if your business is structured that way, then don't be afraid of using a company that have developers structured in the same way. And if it's a development company has a track record like Godel does of delivering good tech, good software, reliable software, to me, it's a no-brainer. And, in 10, 15 years' time, if I'm not at OB for whatever reason, I'm somewhere else, I would definitely be considering Godel for a third time. And maybe I'll get a trophy for a third one, but we'll see.
100% we will sort that out. But be honest, though, because it's still another party integrating with you guys. It doesn't just gel overnight. Did you find it, I suppose it took a while to get used to each other and for it to work, or?
Yeah, definitely. You're never going to beat the physical interaction with someone. Mm-hmm. Like that, without a shadow of doubt, that is always a model that works. There is a learning curve to working with a remote team. It's different cultures. You're dealing with different cultures. you're dealing with them in a different time zone. Now, granted, I remember earlier conversations that the team can work to the London time zone if we wanted them to, or the Dubai time zone, and we didn't take that because we didn't think it was needed. But yeah, you have to change your mindset from a 9 till 5 sitting in the office. We all learned from COVID, you can work remotely, and this is no different from that. And some people saw productivity go down, some people saw productivity go up. The most successful stories I've seen with augmentation teams is teams that have structure. Teams that don't have structure, you're going to be worse off by going to anything offshore where you can't have the people in the office with you. But if you have a structure, if you have your stand-up so everyone knows everyone's doing, if you have your planning sessions and your retrospectives, then it works, and it works really well. And don't get me wrong, it's the same with any recruitment, be that Godel doing it or we were to do it. Not everyone's going to come through the door and they're going to be perfect. For me, it's definitely better than having an entire team in London.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, it's the partnership element that we're always big on, and I think that's why we've worked well together, because I think that is the case. Like we take a lot of pride in understanding about your business, your personalities, your people and your team, so that we can bring the right people to the table that will gel well.
Yeah.
And like you say, obviously remote work, we're a nearshore partner, that's what we do. But I think, you guys come and spend time in Poland with the teams doing the hackathons, or, if you've got specific releases or kickoffs and things like that. And I think that makes a huge difference as well, doesn't it, to ensuring that they feel part of your business as much as they do feel like a Godel employee. Yeah. And if you were to describe Godel in 3 words, I won't be specific, if you want to go above 3, you feel free. How would you describe us?
Fair, trustworthy, fun.
Amazing. Oh, I thought, were we getting alliteration then?
No. But yeah, it's we haven't faced a problem yet that we haven't been able to overcome. Mm-hmm. So that, for me, that says a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose in both the businesses that we've worked with you, have you found that we've delivered good outcomes for you, helped you drive the business forward, achieve your goals?
Yeah, I think it's been well established that the OBX platform that we've developed is kind of leading that above anything else in the industry, or if not, pretty high up there. We've received very positive feedback from Microsoft on our transcription. We've even helped circumvent some issues for Microsoft with regards to, we brought Azure down in Europe because we did too much on an AI cluster and it basically crashed stuff. And we for a while were the largest users of the AI platform in certain parts of their European data centers. And you're not going to get that level of throughput and that level of, wow, these guys are really breaking new ground if you didn't have a good foundation sitting at the bottom of it. You don't come across that by luck. You come across that because you've actually got a solid team who can push the boundaries to get you where you need to be. Mm-hmm. And I've definitely found that. And that goes for both, the team that I've got sit next to me in London. I've got a couple of guys. I've got a guy called Pete, a guy called Rich, a guy called Mo, who sit next to me in London. They're fantastic. They help run the team with me day to day. I can't run the team on my own. They're good support functions, and they run it most of the time. And the team work well with them. And as a collective, they deliver. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the key of what we do, delivery, and they do it.
100%. It's all about that, and I think it's what we do to make the teams empowered, autonomous, and effective, and have fun with what they're doing. Yeah. Outcomes, like it is, the results and the business driving forward, which is really cool. And we really appreciate the time that you put into coming out and seeing the guys. And I know our tech lead actually went out to Seattle with you, didn't he?
Yes.
To the Microsoft conference.
Yeah.
So, them really being part of your team and embraced that way, I think, is what makes it successful.
Yeah, and we've actually got 2 of the team coming to London next week to spend the week in the office. The first time we've had anyone from Godel, from the actual delivery team themselves, into the office with us, to see how kind of that dynamic works and kind of get them to meet some of the business face to face rather than it being over Teams calls, because that interaction, at least for the business analyst that's coming over, is going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And yeah, no, I mean, you're not going anywhere, are you? So
No.
it won't be soon, but maybe in the future we can make
Yeah.
it a hat trick. But thank you so much for spending the time and joining us. It's always a pleasure to have you around. And yeah, thank you as always for everything that you do for our teams.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.